If I was to say to you, I'm going to disrupt the thing you love, but not tell you how, or for how long for, you're going to do whatever you can to protect it. My wife is 32 weeks pregnant. In 8 weeks, at best, I've got a newborn arriving. The same week, my eldest starts primary school, which means the 5:30 a.m. routine that built the best physique of my life is about to get blown apart. Now, whilst I've been here the first time round when our first daughter arrived, I got it wrong. I took a month off without a plan and then had to claw my way back through a slow, broken rebuild. This time, I'm prepping whilst I've got the opportunity to do it. Because about 10 years ago, I got into the gym and spent 7 of them chasing the Captain America physique, second guessing everything, ignoring nutrition, being naive enough to think that effort alone would get me there. And it didn't. Now that's a whole video in its own. The last 3 years is when it's actually clicked. And I don't want to lose that progress over helping my daughter get up and ready for school after a broken night's sleep. I'm worried that I'll lose that 5:30 a.m. slot because of a restless night, and then any effort to try and train at that time will then just frustrate me because I'll be too tired. And so this, the gym, it's my pastime. And it's been transformational for my life. For some people it's football, some people it's fishing. But if I was to say to you, I'm going to disrupt the thing you love, but not tell you how, or for how long for, you're going to do whatever you can to protect it. So like I said, I don't want to lose the progress I've made. And so I'm breaking this down into 3 categories. 1, preparation. How can I prepare for baby 2, which is where I am today? 2, adjustment, which is the plan versus the reality. What has and hasn't worked? And if not, why not? And then 3, recovery. What's the plan as a dad of 2? By that point, I'll know what I need to adjust. So it's how do I make those adjustments happen? And so this is the preparation video. The goal is to arrive into labour where a 2 to 4 week reduction in training, be that in quality or frequency, causes the least possible setback. And the first element is food. Because the easy option, if you can afford it, are these meal prep services where you either choose macro-friendly meals or you follow the cooking instructions for those family meals for either, as a couple or more. Now, neither of those work for me for both of those reasons. We won't be able to afford it on a single income, and they're just not as macro-friendly as DIY options that you can customize to your own. Willpower at 7 p.m. when you've got no sleep will not work in your favor. So I want to remove those food decisions in advance. And in the photo shoot prep and the recent holidays, I followed a 2 locked, 1 flex guide. So I lock and repeat 2 of my 3 main meals a day, and then the third's a flex. It's flexible within a calorie range. So we all eat the same as a family. So like having your usual breakfast and then taking your sandwiches to the office, I'm doing the same, but prepping a full week's worth of food in one go. Breakfast will be overnight oats, and then lunch will be, for the first month anyway, a chili style concoction that I came up with, which is lean beef or chicken mince packed full of veg for the fibre and the volume. And I'm not going to overcomplicate it any more than that. You could do multiple batches of different meals and different combos, but that's just added effort. I want to plan on a weekly cycle and prep and do it that way. But if I struggle, then I may push to 2 or more weeks and then just freeze a batch, keep a log on my phone, and then have it as a tally as to when I'm running low. But I want to go weekly for the time being. And for the flex options, that's the bit I need to flesh out. I want a 2-week rotating family meal plan so that the family meals are all enjoyed and shared on an evening, so we all eat the same thing. That's going to make budgeting easier, and it's also going to take out that unnecessary decision making when we're still trying to figure out the new parenting routines. Will we have takeaways? Possibly, but it's not about discipline. This is just about removing the need for them. So that's food covered off. Now for training, I've just had that 8-week holiday cut, which I've fully documented here on this channel. And I've had a couple of trips away since then. So I've now reversed up and I'm at maintenance for summer, which means I can just refuel and truly make the most of summer and the last few months we have as a trio without feeling stretched on food or weaker in my lifts. Because it didn't make sense for me to continue into a lean bulk like last year, because I'd do it for 8 weeks or so and then be hit with all of this disruption. And so I'm just going to spend the rest of summer really focusing on quality reps, pushing progressive overload as safely as possible. Now I currently train 4 days a week on an upper-lower split, and it's always first thing in the morning before life gets in the way. And it'll stay that way because I've It works, and I have no reason to change it yet. But I do want to compress it to a 3-day. That's effectively the minimum dose I could do when I'm really pushed for time, just to keep me ticking over. One that works in the gym, but then I could also do it at home with the few kettlebell and dumbbells that I've not touched since COVID. I've already got the backup training time in, which if it's not first thing, it's going to be midday between work meetings. So that's that bit sorted. And if it's busier, then there's plenty of variance to my lifts that means I'll never be held up waiting for other people to finish with kit. I'm not entertaining evenings yet because that's the family tea, bath and bed routine, which I want to be wholly present for. I've done that for the first 3 years with my daughter and I want to continue that. The final element is my wife. Now, there's not much I can do to prep for her directly. I just make the most of summer, be present, supportive, and then get her to the hospital in record time when baby decides she's coming, which is finally an excuse to, or a proper one, to put the car into sport mode. But all of what I've covered off here in this video is just so that I'm free to be present, because my wife's recovery comes first. Everything I've mentioned is almost like the worst case backup insurance policy, so that I'm not stuck problem solving food, training, and then family routine if she's struggling to recover. So that is all, in one word, headspace. That's the real reason I'm building these things now. So yeah, the physique matters, but it knows its place. It bends around the family, not the other way around. And to be honest, this isn't just about kids. These are examples that apply to whenever life gets hard. Brutal work stretch, moving house, illnesses, holidays, new jobs. The principle's always the same. Build the structure and the systems before the chaos, whilst you've got time to build it. And if, after all of this prep, labour's an absolute breeze and we slot back into routine within a week, well, then I'm laughing. It's a win-win. So I hope there are some useful tips and tricks that you can take away into your own routines. And if you, like me, are a father soon to be, or already have one with another kid on the way, then I hope there is something that you can incorporate. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the adjustment video and all the other content that's yet to come.